And welcome back to another video where I am sharing my PCOS journey and trying to get my period back and trying to conceive. But before we get into that, let's start with some coffee. Now, I've found out that I have adrenal driven PCOS as well as insulin, so I have switched my coffee to a decaf coffee. This is just from Aldi. So as the weather is so hot at the moment, I've just been having one decaf iced coffee in the morning. So here I am just brewing up my coffee before I am about to go and head out on my morning walk. But it is a gym day today, so I have just been doing 4 resistance training sessions a week and no cardio. So I'm just getting myself ready today for a upper body session. Before that, we need to get some breakfast in me, and my go-to breakfast recently has just been an omelette with some chicken sausages and just a little bit of dairy-free cheese on top, with of course some berries, some protein powder and some yogurt on the side. So this breakfast is packed full of protein, healthy fats, and it's just all round delicious and keeps me full for long. I'm just going to pop my shoes on and we're going to head out for a walk. I do this every single morning and it honestly feeds my soul and just sets me up to have a really positive day. Hello, I am back from the gym and it is so hot today. It's like 27 degrees and I had to pop into Aldi and I picked myself up some dairy-free salted caramel ice creams. Now, I know these aren't healthy particularly and I know they've got sugar in, but I have really been struggling with being a perfectionist. So I'm like type A, all or nothing kind of person, and I've just really been struggling with trying to stay on track. And if I eat something like that, I then deem myself as off track and then it just sends me completely spiraling. So as you guys know, I'm working with a new nutritionist and she's all about 80-20. So I've really been trying to work on that every single day. 80% of the time eating really well, you know, sticking to my dairy and gluten free, and then 20% of the time trying to live my life, because having PCOS and having the symptoms of it, you're just desperate to get rid of them and you think that you need to be perfect every single day when realistically that just isn't always possible. As I've mentioned previously as well, I've got lean PCOS and I know a lot of other people struggle with weight gain, so you can be even harder on yourself day to day. But I have really been trying to practice this 80-20 rule, and yeah, it takes the stress out of meal choices. Before heading out to the gym as well, you guys would have also saw that I had a chicken sausage omelette for breakfast and just some yogurt and fruit and protein powder. And this breakfast has been game changing for me. So as part of working with my nutritionist, we've identified that I do have some insulin resistance, and to try and combat that, she really encourages me to have a high protein breakfast. So what you're trying to do is keep your protein high, and you can also have fats high as well, but the most important thing is trying to keep your carbs low. And that's so we don't spike our insulin first thing in the morning and then we're just sort of riding this insulin wave throughout the rest of the day. And I completely understood how the science worked. However, I have been somebody who would have breakfast, be hungry an hour later, snacking every 2 to 3 hours, and I just genuinely thought that was just me, that I'm just a hungry person who needs to eat often. And I did not realise that that was my insulin. And having changed my breakfast, I now don't have lunch until like 1-2 o'clock. I don't snack at all really anymore, and I'm literally just having breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then always a cheeky little dessert at the end of the day. And I honestly, hand on heart, never ever would have thought that that would have been me. I don't know if anybody else can relate that I would get snack anxiety. Like, if I was going on a trip or a long car journey, I would always pack loads of snacks in case I got hungry. If I was like on holiday and we were going out for the day and I didn't know when I was next going to be eating, I would always take a snack. I was always worrying about when my next meal was going to be. And oh my god, I have honestly now got food freedom. I can happily have my breakfast at 9 o'clock and not really have to think about lunch until 2. So if, like me, this is something you struggle with, try changing your breakfast, try having like an omelette in the morning, see how it goes, and yeah, hopefully that can help with your insulin. The other thing you would have saw is me contact the doctors. So I'm going to go and have some lunch now because it is 2 o'clock and I am pretty hungry, and then I will come back and we'll talk a little bit about why I have been in contact with the doctors again. Hello, I said goodbye to you after lunch and it's now the next day. I got stuck into some painting and yeah, just didn't pick up my camera. So if you're watching this and like me, you might have PCOS or endometriosis, or maybe struggling with trying to conceive, you might have experienced that it's a little bit difficult to get the doctors to do blood tests for you. They just always seem reluctant, or you really have to put your case forward. So I was recommended MediChecks, where you can go online and order blood tests for lots of different conditions. And one thing that I wanted to get checked is my thyroid. Now, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I have got a scar because I had a partial thyroidectomy about 9 years ago. So I always make sure that I'm getting my thyroid function checked every single year. And it was becoming increasingly difficult to get the doctors to do that, so I decided to just pay for it myself. And with my test, I could also get my vitamin D, my B12, my folate and my iron checked. So I paid a little bit extra to get those vitamins checked, particularly my B12, because I have started taking Metformin, which I'll also update you on in this video. And if you've done your research, you'll know that Metformin can actually deplete your B12. So I did my test, I sent it off, it came back. There was 4 thyroid tests, 3 of them were completely fine with a normal range, 1 of them had an error. So they have sent me another pack to do this again. So what I will do is I will insert the footage of taking this test so you kind of know what to expect doing an at-home blood test. So I'll pop that in now. So it comes really well packaged and includes a checklist to make sure you've done everything before and after your sample, as well as comprehensive step-by-step instructions, which, believe me, you will need to make sure that you do all the steps correctly, as well as some stuff to make sure everything's sterile, a plaster in case you bleed, and this is the little contraption that you use to pinprick your finger. You then pop the blood into the vial, and then you make sure you secure the vial in this plastic packaging. Everything goes back into the box. You just need to make sure you put this sticker on it so they know it's you. Put it in the post box. It gets there within 24 hours, and then I got my results just 2 days later. And if, like me, you've been struggling to get your doctor to do blood tests, go and have a look on the MediChecks website and see whether that is something that is accessible to you. I think my test was around £70, but yeah, well worth doing. But one of the tests that came back with an issue was my B12, and straight away I thought it was going to be that my B12 was too low, but in fact it was that my B12 was too high. So I'll insert my test results here. So naturally I freaked out. I don't know what was causing it. I went online, started googling what it means to have high B12, and let's just say the results weren't that positive. So I decided to give my doctor a ring, explain the process that I'd been through, and ask whether I could come in for another blood test to check whether my B12 was looking okay. You know, maybe there'd been an error in the lab with MediChecks. I just didn't know, and I wanted a second opinion. So that is that. That was my doctor's. It is like 10 AM at the moment. I'm just having 70 grams of chicken. This is like pre-cooked chicken. And I'm also having a chia pudding, which I make with soy yogurt and water. So I just mix it so it becomes a lot more loose, and then I just added in some protein powder, and on top I've just got some blueberries. So it doesn't look pretty, and I always think something like this just isn't going to fill me up, but it does the job. So I'm going to eat these before I head off to the gym. And then lunchtime is usually when I take my Metformin, so I'll give you an update on how that's going, because it's been quite an interesting experience. Lunch has been had, and it's time to take my Metformin. Now, with Metformin, you need to take them with a meal or just after. So here it is, and this is the brand that I have been prescribed. So each tablet is 500 milligrams, and it says to take one daily, gradually increasing to a maximum of 4 per day. I started with just one tablet a day and instantly felt better. I lost a lot of water weight on the scales. I found that my energy was a bit better. I didn't have any negative side effects. I was expecting to have a really upset stomach like other people had mentioned, but I didn't have anything. So I was thinking, oh my god, this is amazing, this works for me. I'm gonna take one a day for the first week, and then I'm gonna increase it to 2. That's exactly what I did. However, rather than getting upset stomach, I had the complete opposite effect, and it has been quite a challenge. And it got to a point where like I was constantly bloated, my digestion was awful. At the moment I have dropped back down to 1 tablet, and then I'm going to see how I go and then try increasing it back up to 2 again. And apart from the digestion issue, I've had no other side effects really. I do want to do another video talking about my PCOS symptoms because they have definitely changed. I am getting new symptoms I didn't have before. I don't know if it's just my body trying to like balance itself out, and maybe some things have to get worse before they can get better. Another video I would like to do is also the differences between hypothalamic amenorrhea and PCOS, because I get a lot of questions about this, particularly on Instagram, because my whole channel started because I was told I had HA, and now obviously after going for more investigations I have PCOS and endometriosis. But I guess people who are watching my older videos still ask me about HA, so I'd like to also do a video about the differences between those two for people like me who are also trying to figure out what was going on with them. So I am also going to film that video very soon. But otherwise, I'm going to leave this here before I get blinded by the sun. I'm sorry it's been quite a chatty one, but hopefully it's given you an update on where I'm up to in terms of blood results, metformin and things like that. If you did like this video and you want to see more, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video.